Kadambari Santosh here, and thank you for joining in today's webinar on mentoring program. I am a career mentor, a master mentor with Dheya, close to around 3 years now, and I'll take you through this webinar. About two or three parts, if I may say, would be of this webinar. Number one is I'm going to give you a high level insight on how a career mentoring session with Dheya is taken into consideration, how Dheya takes up, an individual, how the mentoring goes, how you as individuals, experienced individuals, already competent individuals could become mentors. That's the second part. And what would be the insight on after becoming mentor with Dheya, what are the things would help you? And we would have the last 10 15 minutes for question answers. So mentoring is, as mentioned here, an email or the invite must have been mentoring program or mentor, so to say, as a word. I'm a mentor. I come from a background of learning and development. Just to give you a small brief of myself, I've been in learning and development space close to around 20 years now and been associated with Dheya career close to about 3 years now. Yeah. Subramaniam, mentoring skills. I would be here for talking about how do we get into becoming a mentor with Dheya. What is mentoring all about? Like a gist, not in an hour that I can actually look at talking about mentoring skills, but how their career mentors take every individual through their career mentoring program. So at Dheya, we look at that passion for those individuals. How do we go about? As I mentioned earlier, I'm going to give you a high level of how at Dheya we work with individuals to look at their career mentoring or carving their path. So we design dreams. The basis of Dheya's career mentoring is, do you all agree to me about that every personality is different? Yeah. Every person has his or own strengths, what we talk about. Yeah. And bases their strength and looking at their strength through a process, obviously, which I'll give you in a brief, we look at what that person could be best at. Like for example, I'm talking to all of you, the way I'm speaking, the way I'm connecting to about 100 people in an audience, that's my strength. Connecting people, talking, communicating is my strength. I could stand up and communicate of the whole learning and development career, what I have been through in last 15 to 20 years. Yeah. Some might be extremely good in analysis. Okay, they can sit hours long on computer and look at an Excel or a data. So these are just very brief the kind of strengths people have. So that's what we do at Dheya. There is a model what we follow. So every individual who comes in for a career mentoring program with Dheya, what we go through is a psychometric test, what that individual goes through. Now here when I'm referring to individual is, in today's the first level of mentor program is for ages 14, means 13 onwards to about 25. Okay. So post this webinar, you decide to become a mentor with Dheya, you'll go through a rigorous training. And with that training, and once you're off all the training hours, you would be able to mentor any individual aged 13 to 25. Okay. So I'm just giving you a brief of how the program is developed. So what we believe at Dheya, as it is written in Bhagavad Gita, in case you have ever read or known, and our Upanishad means our culture of India, if I have to say so, a long, long, long ago culture, which is about gurus, to decide gurukuls, if you have heard of, to know an individual's strength and then carve a path that with this strength, you can go ahead do this. Yeah. And if you work on basis of your strength, that is what you would go become successful and happy in. Yeah. So that's what we do at Dheya. Every individual has strengths and we work on those strengths to carve path of their career. Okay. We design dreams. Why do we say we design dreams? Now, for example, if I have to just possibly ask you a small question, what would you do if I have to now with this COVID situation? I'm sure all will be excited to do what I'm saying, going on a vacation. If I say we all need to go on a vacation, what's the first thing come to your mind? Decide how you would travel. Fear of COVID. Yeah, I know, fear of COVID. We'll have to live with it possibly, but we need to be cautious, and I would say we will still be able to go. But still, if I look at an hypothetical situation that in a month's time everything is all good, we all got vaccinated and we need to go out. So I'm talking about hypothetical situation that we, if you decide to go on a vacation, a Christmas vacation, like say December, not now, but in December. So what is the first thing that comes to your mind when you have to think about vacation? Exploration, possibly, but first thing what we need to look at is where we want to go. That's exactly how it works for career mentoring, that many of the people in today's scenario, or children, if I may to say, or individuals, are looking at a different perspective, which is for me an inappropriate perspective of, they plan, okay, a stream of education first, and then they decide post their graduation or degrees, and then they decide about, oh, now with this particular education, where should I go and start working. But it has to be absolutely other way around, like what you all mentioned, destination. How do I travel to the destination comes much later, but to decide on a destination is number one thing, and on basis of that destination you would carve your path. I have to travel by train or air or a flight, or go by walk, or whatever the case is. Then you decide, okay, if I have to go to that destination, how do I pack in? Then I would start exploring about how it will feel being there. So all of that comes much later. But doing and looking at a destination is the first and foremost thing what you need to do for career building. Okay, Onil, unsure why you say no an individual's strength. Exploratory, but as per our basis. Okay, now that goes back to again our cultures and big institutes, what they have been giving basics of. I'm not too sure, Anil, if you have heard the word swabhava to swadharma. Means whatever is your swabhava, is your personality, you would look at working in the same manner. Personality of an individual, the basis of the personality does not change. And that's right, Onil. Thank you, Bhagavad Gita. Swabhava to Swadharma. What is the ultimate thing of mentoring? Why do people pick up mentors? Why do you have to plan careers? Just let me know by one word. Why do you think career mentoring has become so critical now, especially? Possibly when you and me have graduated or much earlier, there used to be about 5 or 10 careers possibly. But today, with an exposure what these children have, plus even at an age of 30, people wanting to change careers, why do you think people are confused? Absolutely, many options. So one is many options. One is the age group of 13 to 18 and 20, 21 who have a lot of options. What happens to those who are 30, or what have choices and aspiration? I love the word Lieutenant. I'm sorry you couldn't pronounce on the but Lieutenant, yeah. So aspirations is important. Not enough knowledge. Midlife crisis, yes, Kuldeep. So one portion of public, or one portion of individuals of 13 to 20, 24 are the ones who have extreme choices. They have so much of exposure. They are confused. The rest of it at 30, 35 age are still trying to find out what I'm doing. Is it what I really enjoy? Yeah. Absolutely, Onil. All those definitely look at the same kind of thought process. It's not only Bhagavad Gita. Eventually, potential is something which you can build in. However, what you are as a personality, and that's what we talk about, knowing strengths of people, knowing aspiration. Designing dreams is our first kind of step that we do. So every individual who comes here, Srinivas, can we plan everything? Yes, you can plan. You can have paths planned. Whether the path and the planning is followed to the core, that's another and different question. You could have plan, you can have sub plans, and it works in that manner. What's most important, according to me, in career mentoring is to find out that strength which clubs together. So, for example, I was explaining to you all, if an individual, and let's take an example of 15-year-old or 16-year-old coming up for a career mentoring program, goes through a psychometric test, especially with Dheya, this particular assessment, I would call, has been designed and modified for Indian culture. Yeah, because India is different. And believe me, in so many years, what I have seen cultures across the globe, in India, the way parenting is, the way children are, brought up, all those details are much, much finer than any part of the world. And that's the reason we are always there. So, first guru, ideally, or first mentor for us in life is our parent. Yeah. So, when a individual comes to Dheya, they go through an assessment, which is a modified assessment, which talks about more of finding out strengths, finding out passion of a person, finding out likings. We also find out what the individual's interests are, likings are. Alongside with it, post that assessment, mentors like me, so all Dheya mentors, which is about 2,500 plus mentors with Dheya, are all experienced individuals like me and you. Okay, and selection criteria of mentor is much, much critical here. Okay, which I'm going to talk about in some time. If people are asking questions, I'm sorry, I'm not reading on the chat right now. Just keep your questions for the last 10-15 minutes. Yeah, just understand the process, how a mentoring program in Dheya works. So assessment goes through. That assessment is coming to a mentor like me, for example. I would look at that assessment. I have been trained by Dheya to understand psychology, to understand people. Yeah, I have been upskilled in Dheya, if I have to say so, because I was already into learning and development. However, there are many mentor fellows of mine in Dheya who have not been from learning and training background. However, after becoming mentors with Dheya, they have got upskilled. Their whole individual competency has gone fourfolds, if I have to say, to understanding people, understanding psychology, understanding positive spiral, what we talk about always. Okay, so looking at that assessment, we have a Dheya's universe, we call, is a dashboard which is with a lot of so Dheya has started about 14 years back, and they've had immense, if I have to say, about 30,000 plus students that they have been kind of interviewed and researched on, careers that have been researched on, and that whole data is available and accessible by mentors of Dheya. So assessment comes in, there's a report that is shared with the mentor like me. I would read that report. I would go on Dheya's dashboard, look at the combination. So what do we do ideally? We look at the strengths of that person. And when I say strengths here, it's just not being logic or maths or design. There are many, many more strengths. Okay. I'm not too sure what kind of conversation. Earning money is the target. Onil, none suggesting this. I'm not too sure what we are looking at here. Maybe I could take your questions at the end, Onil. Yeah, just be a little patient. So once the psychometric assessments are there, not always, Sanam. So psychometrics, I would say, and I have been into this industry of psychometric assessments. I'm a corporate trainer who deals with inducting people into work, looking at that, working closely with HR, who do have psychometric assessments as one of it. Yeah. So I would say there are loads and loads of psychometric assessments. What's more important is how do you actually analyze those assessment deals with it more. Okay, psychometric assessments are not incorrect, if I have to say so. You may look at it as not 100%, but that's not the only thing what you look at. Yeah, as career mentoring, so we look at having a assessment done. That's our base. We look at those assessment. We have a whole lot of data which will say that today, if I am good in spatial awareness, if an individual is good in conceptual formations, if a person is good in design, if a person is good with people, all of this is clubbed together with, say, a 15-year-old, then what kind of work type would be suitable for him or her 10 years down the line? Now, that's what the marrying is done by Dheya's mentors here. It's not about just telling an individual that, oh, you're good at maths, so you can take up, or science, so you take up so and so. But looking at those strengths to understand what kind of work type will give happiness, or will a person be able to do that all the time, is something what we look at as a baseline. Yeah. On and above that, we look at individual. So there are 3 hours, 3.5 hours session, which go through looking at the individual, looking at alongside with parents. There's a 3.5 hours session which goes through, and one-on-one mapping of interest to the career prospect. Yes, all of that is considered. So with all that as coupled, we look at giving destination first. That means, for example, if an individual is extremely good at analytical or research, is your strength, I would look at suggesting him or her to become a museumologist, or him or her to become a biotechnologist. Okay, these are the words or identities that are shared with those individuals. Okay, we are talking here about an example of a 15-year-old. Now, on that basis, we would look at building path that if he or she wants to become a astrophysicist, for example. I'm just giving out these names, people. This is the destination that we set. If that's the possibility, then okay. If I want to become a museumologist, means I need to take up archaeology, so I need to be in humanities. If I have to become an astrophysicist, I need to be an engineer, or I need to take up science, and this is how the path is going. Now, in all this matters, what plays a role, important role, is if we are talking about skills. Some of you have mentioned skills. Skills are acquired always on job. However, a person's strength, the basic swadharma, that I love to talk to people. I cannot sit on computer with an Excel for hours. That's my personality. That wouldn't change. Now I can acquire and I can work excellent on Excel now over the period of this. I don't enjoy that work. I enjoy right now what I'm doing with you all as a webinar. So I may be skilled to work on Excel, which is part of my job, to do reports, to do dashboards, to do presentations. So I would love to do this, what I'm doing webinar, as against that. So that's what matter, and this is what we talk about to that individual. Show them those aspiration and dreams that you can become an astrophysicist, you can become a museumologist, and this is the path you carve. Now that is a planning what we do as mentor, and it doesn't end here. Now that involves the parents, it involves the investment, it involves the will, as everybody of you have written. Now will is also that, can you go ahead and run for the 10 kilometer or 21 kilometer marathon? That's a belief that you can't learn. But having said that, mentors and Dheya's process is to do positive psychology. So looking at positive spirals, that we build shifting beliefs. What you believe is may or may not be true. Yeah, you would have those strengths to go ahead and do it. So that's the second part. What we do is we shift beliefs of that individual. Yeah, and then walk along with them. Now this is a way it is done. So assessment by an individual, analysis by experienced mentor, a 3.5 hours session with the individual and the parent, give a design dream. After that, we also give the individual, means that child, for example, in this 15-year-old, we give 4 or 5 options. You can become so and so. So the whole journey of can I become to can become is what we as mentors do. Okay, so we give, after that 3.5 hour session, we actually ask the individual to go back, look at and do a lot of research. So we have a whole homework, if I have to say, and give it's like a whole a kit kind of a thing. We ask him or her to go back, search for those 4 or 5 destinations what we have looked at. If you want to become so and so, so and so, so and so, what kind of work will you do? What are the possible people who are into this? All that, and they are very net savvy. If you ask a 15-year-old, he can go back and search all and he or she, there's a follow-up session, they come back, and then there's a commitment by that individual that yes, I want to become so and so. That's when his passion comes out, when he or she goes ahead and researches himself about that particular career. So that's what we do, and then a destination is decided. That doesn't end there. I've had students and I've had individuals who come back to me after 2 years. Okay, you know what, Kadambari, we decided so and so. Now there is a little deviation. We do kind of a little process again, and we help in and we walk along that. Now, this is the way a career mentoring program for an individual goes with Dheya, which is extremely, extremely elaborate. Number one. Number two, it also gives a lot of insight. Number three, it also allows the individual to explore about the options first and then decide what is to be done. Yeah, that's how it is. This, what I explained right now, is anybody aged 14, 13 to about 25. Post 25, the kind of program changes because obviously it is an experienced professional. We call it as mid-career, which is 25 and 30 above, which is a little different. There are additions to it. Yeah. So this is how we do a career program. Now, what are you here for? Y'all are here right now to look at how you can become mentors. And that's what I'm talking about, is what happens for the mentors. How would you become mentors with Dheya, to give this guidance to these individuals, to want to be guide and plan their or carve their paths? And that's a huge, huge responsibility, believe me. But it's with umpteen amount of satisfaction when you actually guide these children or any age people, what we do as mentoring and coaching. Okay, so the base level program is of 30,000, and right now it is only online. What you would actually learn, the whole process of reading those psychometrics, whole process of designing dreams. There's a whole process that is being designed already for a mentor to go through. Okay, that's one. You yourself would go through your mid-career by the time you're doing these training hours, which is going about 35 hours minimum. Yeah, that goes about 4 days, 4 full days of training, which will be there over the weekend. Right now, most of the batches are Saturday, Sunday, Saturday, Sunday, morning 10 to 11. Are you all able to hear me? Are you all with me still? If yes, just type in yes so that I know that I've been heard and not lost. Thank you very much. So about 30,000 for the online training course. You need to go through a psychometric test all by yourself first, because there's a stringent criteria of selection process. We have all our mentors, like I, about 20 years of experience. We have all our 2,500 plus mentors who have had 15 years plus experience. We do not deal, and that's the reason I mentioned we are not counselors. Counselors fall into a different category. Okay, we are not counselors. However, this training which Dheya gives in is something which will give you your own competence build up. Yeah, whatever you're doing in life, whatever you have come here to think about, change of career or additional career, wanting to do mentoring to people as individual, as a passion, all of that would be definitely satisfied once you are a mentor here. Yeah, so self-development, positive psychology, reading people, knowing and understanding psychometrics, all of that is learned in this 35-hour training module. Plus, beyond that, thank you, Satish. He's done a 5th September batch. Satish is one of our mentors. So if his 5th September batch means he's already a mentor for sure. I'm assuming, yeah, Satish, you must have finished your, 4 sessions. Okay, thanks. So it's an awesome in-depth program which goes through, where you yourself will be surprised to know so many things which possibly as an upskilling would happen while doing these training programs. It doesn't end there. You will also be mentored, means you would be able to attend before taking on sessions. You can't head on after training. You will be shadowing sessions. If I am taking a session, you may shadow a session with me. You will be always having a support. So Dheya has a fantastic back-end team which helps you looking at all scheduling thing. You have person who's wanting career mentoring, they will contact them. All of that is done by the Dheya backend team. You don't have to worry at all. And you'll have master mentors like me, which you can connect before your sessions to go when you do your first sessions. Yeah. Any legal. So I'm taking in 5-10 minutes more to give you all in depth what happens. Legal commitment with the mentees. Not really. Mentees who come, they sign up for a program. It's the baseline program is of 15,000 with the individual of 13 age to 25. They sign up for that, and we do the program what I mentioned earlier. Yeah. So alongside with this, you also get as mentors post your training, post shadow session, post the whole back end team that will be with you. You'll also have access to Dheya's website, as in the dashboard we call the universe, which will have all the data of the training materials, which will have all the data of so many. I mean, there are 22,000 careers which are there, and you will get data as detailed as in this career, what kind of stream, what kind of job satisfaction, or other, sorry, job working hours, what kind of skills are required. All of that is already housed as the research data, which is available in the dashboard, which you'll get access to. Yeah. Plus, as once you become mentor, you'll get promotional codes. That means if you have your own children, you'll get the Dheya career mentoring program at a discounted rate. Okay, if you have connects with school, if you have connects with people, if you want, after you become a mentor in your own social circles, if you want emails to go on your name as you become a career mentor, can contact you, all of that. The marketing, they gave me a lot of the photo what you all saw in the beginning, and a write up and all is done by Dheya's backend team. Fantastic marketing or advertising team they have. They give you those ready-made brochures which you can just forward on. So all of that is also available. Plus, as mentors, like what I'm doing this webinar, I'm not employed with Dheya. Let me tell you, I'm a consultant career mentor with them. Yeah. So it's a sharing model. I'm not employed. I have my own learning and development. I work for a corporate. So I do this apart from that. So I would get like a platform right now. This is a platform for me as my personal branding. So that's another thing. Always right now, we have loads and loads of mentors who have gone through doing webinars of skill development. Okay. You go on YouTube of their Facebook pages, you'll have so many of those videos already uploaded. Like today's this session is also going to be it's live there, so you can watch it out later also. Okay, so that's on basis of how as training goes, what all accesses will you get, what would be your output on that. Yeah, that's what you get as mentors here. Apart from that, when you go through the training, it's a detailed training, and your journey is that you'll go through the basic certification program which I mentioned. You would be able to do a career mentoring program, means career mentoring for individuals aged 13 to 25 if you do the basic certification. Once you've done that, and I would suggest after doing couple of mentoring sessions, you could go for advanced training, which will be of the mid career, that is 30-35 years and above. Okay, in which you would go through your own mid-career mentoring. Okay, so that's about on it. What as mentors you'll get. It's an excellent program for your own personal development, and the amount of satisfaction you get when you go ahead and do career mentoring programs for individuals who require the coaching is excellent. I mean, I can give you with experience and vouching on the same. Now, how does the monetization work? That's the next part. Once you become a career mentor, which is after your selection process, you'll go through assessment, then there would be checking out on your assessments. You would pay for 30,000 and you will get enrolled for the next batch. Then comes in the shadow sessions. Once that has happened, the Dheya model works as a sharing model. What does sharing model means? That you would have say one particular say you go ahead and do a session, right? So that session, it would be a percentage that you would be shared with you. Okay, so they will give for every session conducted, you will be given amounts, and for every session referred, that means you are not available, or possibly you are new at the moment and you are yet to start off, but you still have student who you referred to. Possibly you will refer and I conduct a session, I'll only get the conducting amount, but you will get the referral amount. So these are the amounts which you'll get for conducting a base level, which is the compass session. Delivery means conducting a session, you'll get 3,500, and a navigator, which is another level, a higher level, which has additional sessions and a lifelong hand-holding, which you'll get 7,000. On and above that, you'll get referral. Referral amounts means you just refer but don't conduct, you still get amount. So it works on a basis of sharing model. So even if you're working somewhere, you can look at this as your career with regards to a consultant or a freelance. Okay, so that's about on an idea of how career mentoring program is done, and how can you become experienced professional, become mentors. Yeah, so that's about on from my side. Now I open up for questions. What kind of questions do you all have? So there's no legal commitment, I'm just scrolling through. Yes, Onil, any questions you have now for me? Is the certificate universally recognized? Guru Raj, this is a Indian, they are career mentors in an India private limited company, if I have to say, which has been stationed in India for 14 years now. It has a vision. Amazing person who has started this, the founder of Dheya. Universally, I'm not too sure, like an international certification. No, you wouldn't call this as an international certification. Yeah, it's a Dheya certification. Our offline courses conducted now, Purnima, I'm sorry, with the current scenario, as of now, it is only online session. Yes, Rama, in almost every metro as well as almost every tier 1, tier 2 cities, we have, wouldn't say offices, but there are career mentor or career development facilitators, we call it as CDF. There are a whole lot of communities. We say this is a community thing. Yeah, so every, like Mumbai or Bangalore has 100 plus community. It's a WhatsApp group, people connect here and accordingly they do. Plus outside India also, like one of my Dheya mentors, Dheya backend team is saying, what is 30-day limit for referrals? Sorry, 1 minute, too many questions. Rajkumar, you have to upskill yourself. 3 years is very, why 3 years certification? Because things are changing. From the time I did 2 years back to today, I'm still undergoing so many upskilling myself. And that's the reason you will have a refresher course and you will, extend your validity. Just a course that you have to maybe do. IOPM, what's the max? Max is up to you, how many sessions you want to conduct. It's totally on a personal facilitator that you can go ahead and do that, because lead generation or doing all these counseling, the mentoring sessions is an individual career development facilitator who goes. Okay, Satish, thank you. He's a mentor from UAE, if you can see that. I'm yet to get any mentoring assignment from June to date. Malappa, possibility. The whole point here is how much is your investment to look at marketing yourself. They are does not, I wouldn't say does not market, but they have 2,500 plus facilitators. They are also looking at connecting with school, clubbing up, doing conclave to generate leads, and equally we are also accordingly looking at generating leads. Tarak, it is both. Lead generation by Dheya and mentors both. Subramaniam, I'm sorry, didn't get your question. External benefits in any organization of being certified from there. You're talking about currently working somewhere and whether Dheya certification will give you. Trust me, the training itself is a benefit as a person when you grow. Ravi, I think I've answered the question. They are does marketing and the leads are generated. However, it's an individual CDF, career development facilitator, also to look into the same. I think they're asking the same question. Leads are generated by Dheya and individual. It is both in hand. It's not any one side. So Malatha, how many leads can we expect currently? There is a lot of opportunity. It's up to you how much you can go ahead and take it. Purnima, are you asking me how many I gave? Depends. There was 1 month which I did quite a few, about more than 7, 8, and another month which I couldn't do because I was already in occupied with other things. Harshraj, it's full-time opportunity if you take up as full-time. Now you ask me, I can look at full-time opportunity and do the same. We have a lot of mentors who are not working anywhere and they do only there. Vikas, I'm sorry, I'm not too sure. Their team backend is fee refundable. Nivedita, it is all online right now. I have been taking sessions online on Teams. We have Microsoft Teams, which is scheduled with the mentee and the mentor. I don't do any scheduling. Theya's team calls the parent, email, gets them registered on Microsoft Teams, and I've been informed on email, and calendars are blocked. All of that is done by Theya's backend team, and then I go ahead and conduct session. Okay, questions are going faster. For advanced level mentoring program, what is the tenure and how much does it cost? Kuldeep, fees are non-refundable. I'll just check if, okay. I think about 5,000 or 7,000, Kuldeep. There's an additional cost. And advanced level mentoring program is again another 2.5, 3 days, I believe. Yes, it's live training. I'll be talking the similar what we are doing right now. Yes, you can do your own job as well as Dheya career mentoring. Srinivasan, I'm not too sure. No, they aren't associated with ICF. Okay, 5,900 is for advanced level people. I'm just scrolling up and down because there are quite a few questions. Yeah, Satish, I believe that's right. You're correct. If I am unable to attend this batch, I attended one day. Theya is flexible and they would give you an opportunity on the next batch. Not really, there is no segregation, Ritu, on age group. But having said that, Ritu, the stringent process is that I have known Theya career mentors who have in experience with 15 years, 10 years, 14, 18, 20 years. So you can imagine what the age group would be. No, Sumalata, it's only one psychometric that you go through for you becoming a mentor. And the same is even for the mentee. There's only one single assessment. Your assessment will be obviously different to the mentees. Harshraj, no, there is no employment as mentor with Dheya. It's always as a consultant or freelance basis. Parajit, elaborate on mid-career professionals courses means you're talking about the mentors advanced program, or you're talking about mid-career, there are many courses. Not too sure. Mentor program is 5,900. You do your basic first, then do I would suggest myself do the basic course, then do few sessions, and then go for your advance. It's generally a gap of 2-3 months, and so if there is a basic mentor program happening in September, October there would be an advance. You could look at it, but my personal suggestion would be once you do a basic, do couple of session and then do advance. What kind of different levels? Harsha, there's a level which is Vidya, 13 years to 25 years, which is called as your basic or programs for those children who are still studying, the 10th, 12th, and, graduation. Then there is a mid-career, early career, which can be clubbing 18 to 24 or 25. And then there is beyond that is age group is mid-career. I hope you have answered your question. Any other questions which are left, because questions are moving faster than I can see there. Uh, Prakash, franchisee model workout for tier one cities. I would suggest get in touch with our Theya's backend team. Chetali, can you look at Prakash RC's question, please? Wants to look at a franchisee model to work full time in a tier one city. I'm sure you can drop a mail and check for this in totality. Srinivasan, there's a huge difference in mentoring and coaching, but this possibly would not be a small one or two. To give you just a baseline, mentor is the one who shares his or own experiences. Coach is the one who walks along and gets into. There are many more, but a very basic one. Not really, Pushkar. There's no mentoring age, but yeah, with an experience and all mentors with stringent process is that all mentors here are about 30, 35. Sumalata, School Connect program material, I would suggest get in touch with our backend team and they can let you know more details. It's a whole program which I wouldn't be able to just give you in bits here. Yeah. Any more questions, people? One mentor, Harsha, I'm not too sure. Is there a MOU between CDF and Dheya? Not for mentoring. There is no MOU between CDF and MOU means, yeah, I mean, conflict of interest kind of a thing, that if you are mentoring through Dheya here, obviously you'll mentor only through Dheya. Yes, Ritu, you can have as a mentor mentees from any age group depending on what program you have finished. If you have done basic and advanced, like me, I could mentor a 15-year-old, I could mentor a 30-year-old also, a 35-year-old also. Yes, Harchraj, one-on-one, the mentor means I work at a time with one mentee for that one program or a session. And that way I can have many sessions in a week, month, depending on my availability. It's purely on my own availability. Thank you, Ramarani. Any more questions, people? I think there are a few. Yeah, at the end of 30, 35 hours of the mentor training, there is the business launch pad training, which is, it's not a training, it's a 2.5 or 3 hours, or it goes beyond 3 hours with all the discussions, for sure, I'm telling you, which is conducted by the founder of Dheya. Anand Desai is his name, to give you an insight about what Dheya has been doing. Apart from mentoring, Dheya is into many more programs which are so interesting. I'm associated with one which is called Karyam program, which deals or is associated with work to do with NGO, possibly looking at not all the below average, if I have to say, income people also. The School Connect program is there. There is Guru Career Guru sessions which happen. So all of different programs which are done. Do you guide students? Which, no, Aparajit, that's one thing which I wouldn't really look at. So as a mentor, you can give path, you can give destination as per the person's, as I mentioned, strengths, basis on abilities, likes, interests. What college to go, that is not a decision what you and me can take. That depends on the parent as well as the individual. We wouldn't really look at, I have never quoted in my mentoring session, go to this college only. No, I have not done that. That's being biased. We do not look at institute selling or university selling. That's the reason we are different. We are not those career counselors who come from institutes to only tell them that that institute is good. Yes, Srinivasan, it works with any type of school, be school, I mean, they do. What options, Aparajit? Uh, See, options, possibilities. I'm telling you, you don't have to give options. So, for example, you are a 15-year-old or an 18-year-old. I give you four options of a career choice. Okay, like this is your career. This can be you can become an astronaut. You can become an astrophysicist. You can go into NASA, be a researcher, and then you individual goes out, researches so much, and when they come back, you don't have to give option list. They come up with list and they give you, this possibilities, and that's the beauty of the way it does in there. Live mentoring session with prior, no, you need to be certified first, and then only you go through a shadow session. Thanks, Pushkar. Any more questions, people? Nivedita, the first level program is 15,000, which is called Compass, which is the assessment with 3 hours, session, which a follow-up session. And higher program is 30,000, which is same as Compass. Plus, additionally, you'll have two more sessions and you'll have a lifelong handholding. I mean, they can come back anytime and then they can still go ahead and discuss and have mentor program. What is career planning code? I'm sorry, I didn't get your question, Guru Raj. Wish you the same, Onil. Gururaj, I didn't quite get a question. Anybody interested? There's a handout of Career Mentor proposal. You can always look at that or download from the handout section here. Yeah, there are a lot of these referral programs that they do look at there. So multiple programs are there. Yes. Once you become a mentor, please connect with the Dheya backend team, and they, even if you ask them 100 times the same question, they will still explain you the same thing, which is commendable. The way they work, I can, I mean, you know how many times I know I have been connecting with the backend team to ask silliest question, even if I've been a master. So there's no question which is silly, but they would help you explaining all the time. A referral done by outside. Harshraj, if you have got some parent or some friend of yours who wants his or her child to be mentored, you get that, you tell Dheya this is the one. It's your referral. And if you conduct the session, you'll get the referral as well as the conducting amount. Thanks, Srinivasan. Thank you, Ritu. Because anybody with 15 years with the psychometrics assessment, knowing your strengths, knowing, once you become mentor, you know what we actually look at, whether the person is able to, is a mentor, or, what kind of work type he will he be suitable. All of that is taken into consideration becoming a mentor. Dinakar, yes, you can tie up. You don't have to. I mean, if you have schools and colleges, you can have the their team. You can make sessions in the college, and their team will help you do all the marketing and how you can conduct and tie up with them. And those leads coming out of that school college can be yours own as lead as well as conducting. Yes, Gururaj, you have to go through a assessment. After that, you pay for it and then you go for the training. Thank you very much. Yes, Harshraj, you'll get both. Thank you, Satish. Thank you very much. There is no negative. That's what we never speak about anything called as negative. There is definitely something, Prakash. We only speak about ability and strengths. And for sure, when you connect with your psychometric assessment, and we'll be able to look at the possibilities. There's no negative, there's no marks here. Thank you all for time, and thank you being online, being patient with the little technical snag. Okay, Arshraj, definitely. Gururaj, you can speak up at the backend team to get the assessment link. Okay, Chaitali is already letting you know that she will. Thanks, Swati. Swati and Chaitali are from the backend team. Dinakar, these are fixed amounts right now. 3,500, 7,000. What you see here are fixed amounts. You all can connect as Swati has put up an email ID. You all can look up. You all can connect with me. I'm available on LinkedIn. Kadambari Santosh is my name. If you have any questions before you want to join in, you can always connect with me. Thank you all. If there are no questions, I would kind of looking at ending this session now. Thank you.